Cleveland Browns star safety injured in NYC assault in hotel lobby. Browns starting safety Ronnie Hickman was treated for minor injuries at a hospital and released on Monday following an early morning assault in New York City. Hickman, who has spent the last 3 seasons in Cleveland after signing as an undrafted free agent in 2023, was approached by 4 individuals just after 4:30 a.m. on Monday morning inside the lobby of the 60 LES Hotel on Allen Street in Manhattan. An argument of some sort reportedly broke out, which resulted in Hickman being punched by his attackers before they fled the scene. Upon arrival, officers were informed that 4 unidentified individuals punched a 24-year-old male about the body following a verbal dispute, police said. The suspects fled the location in an unknown direction. The New York Police Department is currently investigating the incident, though no arrests have yet been made. According to a statement from the Browns, Hickman is currently resting at home with his family as he recovers. Hickman appeared in all 17 games for the Browns this past season while serving in a starting role, recording 103 tackles, 7 pass deflections, and 2 interceptions. Before dawn, when the city is still deciding whether to sleep or wake, even giants can look human. At 4:30 a.m. inside the lobby of the 60 LES in Manhattan, the polished marble floors reflected soft light and long shadows. It was there, in that quiet hour between night and morning, that Ronnie Hickman, starting safety for the Cleveland Browns, found himself in a moment no stat sheet could capture. The details came later. 4 individuals. A verbal dispute. A flurry of punches. Then footsteps fading into the New York darkness. By the time officers from the New York Police Department arrived, the confrontation had dissolved into questions and surveillance footage. Hickman, 24 years old and built to collide with running backs at full speed, was treated for minor injuries and released from a hospital later that morning. Minor injuries. It's a phrase that feels tidy, clinical, contained. But there is nothing minor about vulnerability. On Sundays in Cleveland, Hickman is a storm in orange and brown. He reads quarterbacks like open books, breaks on routes before receivers turn their heads, and throws his body into the chaos of the line of scrimmage without hesitation. This past season, he started all 17 games, stacking 103 tackles, 7 pass deflections, and 2 interceptions, numbers that whisper reliability and shout toughness. He is the last line of defense, the eraser, the closer. And yet in a hotel lobby in New York City, he was simply a young man caught in an argument that escalated too quickly. There's a strange contrast between the controlled violence of football and the randomness of real life. On the field, contact is anticipated. It is rehearsed, studied, absorbed into muscle memory. Helmets and pads are armor. Teammates form a shield wall of solidarity. Even pain has structure. Ice baths, trainers, recovery schedules. But in the world beyond the stadium lights, there are no referees to throw flags. No replay review. No whistle to stop the action. The city hums with its own playbook, unpredictable, unscripted. For Hickman, who entered the league as an undrafted free agent in 2023 and carved his place through grit rather than guarantee, resilience is nothing new. Undrafted players live in the margins. They survive roster cuts, silence doubters, and build careers rep by rep. Hickman did that in Cleveland, earning trust, earning snaps, earning a starting role. Every tackle was a declaration. I belong here. Perhaps that same resilience steadied him in those early morning moments. Not the kind that prevents harm. No one can prevent every blow, but the kind that steadies the mind afterward. The kind that allows a person to walk out of a hospital, return home, and exhale among family. The Browns released a brief statement. Hickman is resting at home with his family. There's something grounding about that image. Not the highlight reels. Not the roaring crowd at Huntington Bank Field. Just a living room. Familiar walls. The comfort of loved ones. Recovery not measured in tackles but in quiet. Professional athletes often exist in public mythology. They are framed as invincible, sculpted physiques, elite speed, almost mythic stamina. Fans know their 40 times and interception counts, but rarely consider the softer truths, that they get startled, that they feel fear, that a sudden punch in a hotel lobby is as shocking to them as it would be to anyone else. When news of the assault broke, conversations swirled. Concern, anger, speculation. But beneath it all was a deeper reminder. Even those who spend their Sundays delivering hits are not immune to harm off the field. There is irony in a safety needing safety. Yet there is also poetry in what comes next. Because football at its core is about response. You give up a touchdown? You line up again. You miss a tackle? You study the tape. You get knocked down? You rise before the next snap. Hickman has built a career on response. Undrafted? Work harder. Unknown? Play louder. Overlooked? Outperform. And now, briefly bruised but not broken, he will likely respond the same way he always has, by stepping back into the defensive huddle with the same calm intensity. Teammates will clap his shoulder pads. Coaches will nod. The stadium will buzz. Life, like football, does not pause long. The New York Police Department continues its investigation. The 4 individuals who fled the scene remain unidentified. The city moves forward as it always does. Traffic surges. Subways rattle. Hotel lobbies return to stillness. But somewhere in Cleveland, a safety rests. Healing is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is just a matter of time. Ice on a bruise, sleep in a dark room, laughter from family cutting through the residual adrenaline of a frightening moment. When Hickman next steps onto the field, fans may not see any visible reminder of what happened in that Manhattan lobby. They will see the same number 33 scanning the secondary, the same burst toward the ball carrier, the same reliability that produced 103 tackles last season. And maybe that is the quiet triumph. Because strength is not merely the ability to deliver a hit. It is the ability to endure one, on or off the field, and still move forward.